Namaste, Stephanie, and namaste, all friends. Santosh here, and live streaming from a different location on Shivalaya. We're calling this Shivani, the new yoga practice deck, the new yoga practice space.
And Shivani, when there's an I at the end attached to a word, it denotes, if you will, a feminine aspect, and and the theme, as we know. Hi, Maggie. Yeah, check in, say hello as y'all sign on or have you. So the theme, for our class today, is flows like water, moon salutation, and it's clear that there's an extensive, would be probably the best way to put it, an extensive amount of heat in the creation right now. Certainly in Colorado with all the fires, but I would say even in the last, few months, as we came out of quarantine, people's minds were, literally on fire, if you will, and have been on fire. And for the yoga practitioner, we're really trying to guide our being, into a state of equanimity. And so, kind of the temperature, if you will, of the mind. Good morning, Bill. Can be just absolutely overwhelming. And I would almost say, and I think this showed up last year as well too, is that like the fires are almost a reflection of the energy that's happening in humanity and in the minds of humans, and it's in the it's in the creation, and it's manifesting as high temperatures, heat, drought. And so it's like it's up to us really to shift that quality significantly. And so our practice is going to be oriented around that. I'm going to, add a couple of things today. One method with diet, our yoga practice, to support kind of a cooling quality of our nature is all kinds of different things, mind you. But I have some lavender and some peppermint today. Some lavender and peppermint. Hi, Tammy. Essential oils, and we know lavender is cooling and very, very illuminating, very calming. So I would say, if you guys there at home have any essential oils, lavender or peppermint, which is just straight up cooling, go grab them right now. Go grab them and just have them next to your mat. And smells are free, so you don't even have to put any on. Just inhale it and put that into your lungs, if you will. I'm just going to do one more of the lavender. Oh, yeah. So that just helps kind of tone our experience somewhat, if you will. And I also there are a number of Hatha yoga texts. It's like yoga teachers don't even know about them. It's the Shiva Sutras, Geiran Samhita, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and then this one, the Hatha Ratna Nyavyakya is the name of this text. And I've, traveled in this fairly significantly, and thinking about our class today, I'm going to read one short little thing, and it's on the cooling breath, and it's called Shitali. We'll practice this today in our pranayam. Shitali, Shitali Kumbhak removes drowsiness, disorders of the spleen, right? So that's where this, the bile, fever, acidity, and toxicity, and controls anger, hunger, and thirst. So Shitali Kumbhak removes drowsiness, disorders of the spleen, fever, acidity, and toxicity, and controls anger, hunger, and thirst just by a cooling breath, just by a cooling practice. There's another section in here that talks about a different cooling breath, Sitkari, and it says when one practices Sitkari, all diseases are removed from the body. With this idea that one of the primary adversities in our body is the acid. And I would say that it's also the acid that's in our minds. And this is the stuff that we just absolutely have to transform. I know Valerie's online on Q. There's people here that are studying Ayurveda. Right now is the height of Pitta season, you know, all the summer and the heat. And it's just, our bodies are just cooking, you know, literally from the inside out. So it's vital that we're doing cooling type practices and all the rest. And you can see like Shivani, the sun's coming up, but she's, you know, she's in the shade here in the early mornings. And so great place to practice early in the morning. And we'll have a retreat the next 2 weekends. So if you haven't signed up for that, please reach out and get your registration in and all that stuff. Next 2 weekends, then a couple weekends in October also, there's some retreats here. And this is where we'll be doing our asana practice. And so the chant also that I was doing prior to class was the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. And is the mantra of Shivalaya Temple. It's considered a healing mantra, but there's 2 main mantras in the Vedas, Gayatri mantra and Mahamrityunjaya. And Gayatri is a sun mantra. It's very transformative and heating. But Mahamrityunjaya mantra is a cooling mantra. It's said to bring rain. And so that's why I was playing the drum and chanting that. I'll chant it again in our sadhana as well. I posted on YouTube, or not on YouTube, on my Facebook account yesterday, a YouTube video of my family, if you will, back in Mount Madonna, chanting Mahamrityunjaya mantra 108 times. And so if you would like to learn that mantra, that would be the Vedic cadence, the Vedic rhythm. That you could watch and learn to chant. You just download like the words and then you can click on the video and watch it. So that's all. I appreciate your patience with Chai and Chat. Moon salutation, earth salutations today. Pranayams that are cooling in nature to release some of the heat, if you will, from our minds. So namaskar, everyone. Thanks for joining me here this morning. This is the inaugural sadhana practice for Shivani. This is literally the first time that I've put a yoga mat on Shivani. And so I'm just really, I'm stoked, basically. Is the word stoked up. So I'm going to take a humble seat here and join me in a comfortable seated position, if you will. I'll bring this over for now. And the breath has heating and cooling qualities to it. We've talked about this. The belly breath is considered a cooling breath. The technique for belly breathing is you inhale, you extend the belly outward, and you exhale, the belly draws to the spine. And it's also a deregulator of the sympathetic nervous system. You may find that you become a little more calm in your vibration, more peaceful. really. And that's the best. When pitta doshas provoke the kind of the attributes of that derangement is, you know, competition, anger, jealousy, hatred, judgment. And so we're inviting the release, if you will, of the acidity of pitta and the height of pitta provocation, the height of pitta season, and we're asking for water energy, liquid, flowy, cool energy to come in. We're asking for the healing for the earth that water provides and the support even for the fires. We know that that is transformative and helpful. And in moderation, though, we ask everything to be in moderation. Let an intention come in for you here. Just continue belly breathing. Just stay with the practice. And maybe if there's a little heat that's appeared in your own field of experience, maybe offer that up in your practice today as the transformative mechanism to recalibrate the peace that's so needed in our minds. And we'll chant a couple of Oms, and I'll chant a little invocation mantra, and then we'll begin here. So gently release the breath, and then take a nice big inhale. Here, big inhale. Again, another big inhale for Om. Big inhale. Om. Swastina Indra Bridashavaha, Swastinaha Pusha Vishwavedaha, Swastinastarsho Arishtini Swastina Vriaspatir Didatu. Om Swastina Indra Bridashavaha, Swastinaha Pusha Vishwavedaha, Swastinastarsho Arishtini Swastina Vriaspatir Didatu. Om Swastinandra Pradashavaha Swastinaha Pusha Vishwavedaha Swastinastaraksho Arishtanimihi Swastinovriyaspatir Didatu. Appealing to the great spirits, may you have favor on us, and may our minds and our senses and all the things be illuminated so that we're able to perceive the highest truth. And may we be protected from negative influences, and may we have the support of the teacher and the teachings. Om. Okay, friends. I'm just going to move some of this, and I'm just going to turn to face you momentarily here, staying in our seated position. Just begin by inhaling and floating the arms up, and exhaling, floating the arms down. Very simple, subtle movement here. Very kind of evocative for water energy. Just inhaling, the arms float, and exhaling, the arms float down. And then begin to lift the arms just a little higher as you inhale. Find your own pacing, your own breath is fine. Letting joint capsules become liquid motion here. Fluid, supple. And then inhale, we'll sweep all the way up. And then just bring the palms together. And then just begin to kind of float rib cage side to side. Just a little bit of movement that way. If there's any sensitivities in the shoulders, you can lower the hands or bend the elbows. Just move here and breathe. That's it. And then interlace the fingers here, extend the palms up, reach real tall. And then take a nice big inhale and exhale. Lower the arms, round the low back, rock back on the sacrum here. A little stretch of the back body and things. And then inhale, float hands and arms back up. And exhale, release down. And just continue here. Oh, and then just imagine yourself on Shivani. Next 2 weekends doing sadhana here. Release hands and arms shoulder height in the middle of the forest, literally. And then twisting the arms here, just a little bit of a twist. Feel that? Birds chirping, sun just starting to peek through. Cool temperatures, yeah. And down south here, the air's it's not as bad as it is in the city. It's not perfect, but it's not so bad. Oh, that's it. And then inhale, float arms up. And exhale, the right under the left, and then eagle arms. So forms come together. And then give the head a little bit of a stretch here. A little bit of that. Goodness. And then inhale, float hands and arms wide. And then exhale, we'll switch the left under the right, bending elbows, forms, palms come together. And then once again, give the head a little bit of a stretch. Going into that. Oh, yeah. And then inhale, float hands and arms wide. Exhale them behind you and interlace the fingers. And a little stretch of the front spine. You can look up if you like. Breathe deeply, have the arm bones draw back. Oh, yeah. And then gently release the grip of the hands here. Extend this right arm out. And then inhale, sweep the left arm up. We're going to kind of make circles here first. And so then just sweep it down, kind of in front of you, and then let the palm then turn back up. Inhale. Exhale. Yeah, just really flowy, really watery. Inhale. Let everything kind of be soft here, right? Just be really mindful of your muscle engagement. Let it be a little supple. And then this time we'll extend here and just reach. And what I would say is experiment with extending and then releasing a little bit. So we find that tension, but I really want the flow to be experienced in the release. Yeah, that's it. And then inhale, float up. And exhale, release this left arm down. Right palm turns up, inhale, float arm up. Exhale it over. And then again, just making circles, whatever, kind of angles your shoulder joint may have. Palm turns up, inhale. Exhale, the arm over is fine. All the angles are different for all of us that way. Oh, yeah. One more of these. Then reach over. And then once again, just experiment with extending and then relaxing. Really find a little bit of that movement so the energy is allowed to kind of transport through the subtle body system. That's it. And then inhale, float, hands and arms up. Yeah. Ooh, we'll come off of the seated position now. So just gently peel out of that. I'm going to remove my cushion here. And then we'll make our way to the tabletop position, all fours. And then from here, let's just circle the hips. So say clockwise direction. And then you can kind of barrel roll the torso. Kind of include breath synchronicity. And so as you float forward, inhale. As you draw back, exhaling. And again, the elbows can move, the head can move, whatever kind of intuitive or organic, need appears, just do that. And then gently switch the direction here. So just go the other way. On your way through that. Yeah. Just glorious here this morning. Oh, yeah. And then gently, we'll come back into neutral position. I'm just going to turn around and this way. And then from here, and you can stay where you are. From here, extend the right leg out to the right. Yeah. Toes are pointing forward. We know this. Then let the hips drift back. And then the elbows bend. And let the heart sink. The pubic bone pulls back. Just refine the stretch of the inner groin. Just feeling into that. Breathe deeply here. Yeah. And then gently here, we'll come out of it, but keep the leg extended. Ground this left hand, inhale, float the right arm to the sky. And just breathe very deeply here. Yeah, feeling into that. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, this right arm as far forward as you can. And then just kind of sink and pulse a little bit, though, into this position. Just a little bit of movement now. Just pulse it a little. And then inhale and exhale, just float this right hand back. We'll switch. So draw this right leg in, extend the left. Toes point forward here. Oh, yeah, that's the inner groin. And then we just bow into it here. Just bow. Breathe deep, feeling into that. Yeah, pubic bone's kind of drawn back. Yeah, if you want to kind of rock a little bit, that's fine. That's kind of one of our methods here today is just allowing for a little bit of movement, a little bit of flow. Inhale, come up to neutral, and then take this left hand to the sky. You can spin the wrist, breathe very deeply. Stay with the breath. And then a big inhale and exhale, this left arm over the head towards the front, and then just sink into it. Oh, that's the way. And then once again, put a little pulse action in there. Yeah, just feeling into that. A little bit of movement. Yeah, nice big inhale. And exhale back into a neutral position here. So we're back into tabletop. I'm going to just spin around. Extend when you're ready. The right leg behind you, the toes tuck under on the mat, just to wake up the calf and Achilles here. And then float. That right leg hip height here. Take a nice big inhale. And exhale, rounding the knee and chest. Give a little squeeze in. And then inhale, sweep leg open. Exhale, round, squeeze. And again, inhale, sweep leg open. Exhale, round, and then release to neutral. We'll switch. So extend the left leg first, toes tuck under on the mat, little stretch of the calf and Achilles. Float when you're ready. Now that left leg here, breathing, big inhale, and exhale, round squeeze. Inhale, sweep open. Exhale, round. Inhale, sweep open. Exhale, round. And then just gently release to a neutral position. And then from here, we'll just take a nice big inhale and pivot back into child's pose for just a moment. Yeah, just release the hips to the heels, breathe into the belly. So pretty cooling technique that way. And then with an inhale, draw the belly button to the spine, round into the upper back. Let the hips release down. This is all on an inhale. And then exhale, lift the hips back. And then gently float the hips back towards the heels, forehead, earth. And just continue that motion, if you will. So just inhale, round into the upper back. The hips release down, gaze goes up. And then exhale, lift the hips back. And then again, just continue that very subtle motion. Turn it into a little bit of a wave. So just kind of feel, if you will, the water flowing through the body, and it can be transformed into water prana. We'll call it water prana, jala prana, water prana. Yeah, so we're flowing and moving, flows like water. Jala prana. Oh yeah. So yummy. Yeah, and then gently we'll release to neutral. We'll meet in downward facing dog. When you're ready, tuck the back toes under, hips lift real easy. There we are, down dog. Take a minute here. Add any kind of motion that's suitable for your practice, for your body. It's fine by me. Any motion whatsoever. Breathe in deep. Oh yeah. Ooh, and then lift the heels here, come up under the tippy toes, and then sink the heart here. Keep the heels lifted and lifting, though. You can even bend the knees a little bit. That can kind of relieve some of the pressure in the joints. It's fine. So nice. And then gently, straighten legs. Exhale, release the heels towards the earth. Yeah, then put a little bend, the right knee ground, the right hand stretch left, calf and Achilles. And then straighten and switch, so bend left knee ground, left hand, right calf and Achilles stretches. A little pedaling between the two, a little wiggling of the hips. Yeah. Oh, and then gently here, be still. And then walk the feet to the hands, forward fold, Uttanasana at the top of the mat. Yeah. Kind of pivot the weight towards the balls of the feet here at some points. That feels good. You know that. Give the head a stir. You can grab opposite elbows. Yeah. Water sadhana practiced on Shivani. Shiva as woman energy here for the first time ever on planet Earth. Yeah, inhale, flat back, lengthen front spine near hands, mid shins here, shoulders. Move away from the ears, big inhale, then exhale, lengthen out as you pull down, chin tucks, hands release at the bottom here. Yeah, and again, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, rounding Uttanasana. And one more of these. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, folding. And then put a little bend in the knees. And then cactus the arms, lift the elbows, keep the core toned, and let that take you to standing with a flat back. Yeah, standing with a flat back. Oh, yeah. Just reach hands and arms over the head, and then just begin to sway the body a little bit. So just a little bit of a sway here in the body. Feeling your way through that. Goodness. Yeah. Ho, ho. And then kind of stack the feet under the hips here with an inhale, bend the elbows, and then let the heart just flourish. Standing back bend. You can kind of pivot the shoulders away from the ears, but keep the core active, the tummy toned here. Yeah, and then take a nice big inhale and exhale, pulse the forearms towards one another. A little touch and go, then inhale, open, and then exhale, pulse. Yeah, and then two more of these. Inhale, open, exhale, pulse. One more. Inhale, open. Oh, exhale, pulse. Oh, yeah. And then inhale, sweep arms over the head, and then capture the left wrist with the right hand. And then I do with this with an inhale, actually. So stand firm on the left foot, and with an inhale, sweep over to the right. Yeah, just got a nice moon shape in that left side body. Keep straightening this right arm to extend. And then a little tone of the core, little belly button to the spine goes a long way here. Yeah. Whew, and then inhale, float up to neutral. Exhale, gently release the grip of the hands here. And then inhale, float over to the left. And you can see I'm straightening this underneath the arm to lengthen into that right side body. Breathe very deep here. Yeah, stay with the breath. Oh, yay. And then inhale, float hands and arms up. Exhale, then behind you, interlace the fingers here. Take a nice big inhale. Bend the knees generously. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Float the hands and arms over the head, bowing forward in a sweet forward fold. Ah, and just stay with the breath. So nice. Yeah, and then a big inhale. And exhale, gently release the grip of the hands here. And then step back into downward facing dog. So down dog. Take a moment there. Uh-huh. So good. Float the right leg here, hip height. So right leg floats. And then take the leg higher. Let the hip naturally spin open. First, work the foot straight to the sky, and then extend through the big toe mound of that right foot, and just open up into the inner groin, and then bend that right knee and track it over towards the left. Yeah, stay with your breathing here. Yep. And then inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, gently release it all the way down here. And then we'll switch. So float the left leg hip height there and sink the heart a little bit. Yeah. And then take the leg higher. The hip naturally spins open to whatever mobility your hip will offer. And then really push to the big toe mound of that left foot to extend the leg up. And then bend that left knee. Track it over to the right. Really nice. And then inhale, straighten that leg. Exhale, gently release it down, back into down dog. And listen carefully. We'll walk our hands back to our feet to the back of the mat. So just come to the back of the mat here. Yeah. Forward folding still. And stay with the breath. And then with an inhale, we'll bend the knees and release the knees to the mat. The toes stay tucked under, and I know that can be a little tender. Work with what you got. We won't be here too long. Bring hands to prayer. This is the preparation for the earth salutation. So hands to prayer. Take a nice big inhale. Then exhale, extend the hands and arms out, and then ground the front of the body. So we come onto the belly, if you will. And then inhale, float the torso into Bhujangasana, cobra pose. The shoulders move away from the ears, the elbows to wrap into the side body like this. And then take a nice big inhale. And then exhale, float the torso and the forehead down. And then again, inhale, float on up. And exhale, float on down. Two more of these. So inhale, float up. Exhale, float down. One more. Inhale, float on up. Exhale, float down. And then ground the hands here. Lift the hips and pivot back into child's pose. So go into child's pose from this position. Yeah, give the low back a little love there. Breathe into the belly. Yep. And then inhale, come to with this is called thunderbolt pose. And so the toes are tucked under again. Ooh, yes, a little sensitive on my feet that way. Big inhale. And then exhale, the hands release down, and we straighten the legs in a forward folding position. So forward fold again. Uh-huh. And then little bend in the knees, tone of the core, cactus the arms, flat back to standing. So just lift the arms, let that take you up and out. Palms come together. Take the gaze to the sky. And then the hands into the heart center. Okay. So this is Prithvi Namaskar. Prithvi is the Sanskrit word for earth. Namaskar is salutation. So this is the earth prayer. And so we'll first do this and take some breaths in between, the poses that we do. I'm actually going to get some lavender here. So if you have your essential oil, take a minute. Do a nice big inhale. Hold the breath. So if you have, say, an intention that you would like to have for the earth. So this is a salutation literally to the earth. And clearly there's all forms of healing that can be offered at this time. And that's the suggestion. So take a minute, form that intention in your heart here. And then gently inhale, float hands and arms up. Take the gaze up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward here. Forward fold. Then inhale into thunderbolt, hands to prayer. Pause there. And then take another nice big inhale and exhale. Pranam. This is the bowing here all the way to the belly, forehead, earth. And then inhale, float on up, Bhujangasana. Pause here. Yeah. And then nice big inhale. Then exhale, the hips lift, bowing back into child's pose. So there's aspiring and surrendering. This is surrendering here. And then inhale, we come into thunderbolt, hands to prayer, toes tuck under, or so. You work that out. And then nice big inhale. The next exhale, we straighten the legs, come into a forward fold. And then inhale, elbows lift, flat back to standing, gaze to sky, hands come together, and then prayer position on the exhale. So this is a sequence that my teacher, Baba Hari Das, guided us in this series that's called the Forgiveness Asana series, Forgiveness. And it was 28 practices of this, offering some, if you will, some negative attribute of ourselves for healing. That's why, forgive me for this, that. But at the end, each time I offer this asana to the divine. And so I offer this asana to the earth. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hinge, folding forward. So one breath, one movement now. Inhale, thunderbolt, hands to prayer. Exhale, pranam, bowing, surrendering. Inhale, cobra, aspiring. Exhale, bowing, hips lift, child's pose. Inhale, thunderbolt, hands to prayer, so that aspiration. Then exhale, bowing, straighten legs, forward fold. And then inhale, sweep all the way to standing, reach up. And then exhale, hands to heart. Yeah, and then just continuing, inhale, aspiring. Exhale, forward fold, bowing, surrendering, self-giving. Inhale, thunderbolt, that aspiration, sense of humility on the knees. And exhale, pranam to the earth. Inhale, torso. Exhale, hips lift back into child's pose. Inhale, thunderbolt. Exhale, straighten legs, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up, reach. And exhale to the heart. And then again, inhale, float. Heart medicine here, so keep your awareness in the heart as a form of sharing the intention through the heart's power here. Exhale, pranam. Heart medicine. Inhale. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, thunderbolt. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up, reach. And exhale, heart center. And we'll do 3 more of these. So inhale. Exhale. Thunderbolt. Inhale. Pranam. Exhale. Find your own pacing, your own breath. Standing. Center. I'm just going to continue. I'm going to kind of release the instruction now. You can watch it. Last round. And just gently release the hands by the sides. When you're ready, close the eyes here. Let the knees be a little supple, so a little bend in the knees. And just invite the subtle body, your energy system, to absorb the medicine from Prithvi, the energy from the earth. Just invite that sanctuary into your field. And then gently let the hands draw behind the back here. Interlace the fingers, inhale the breath. Bend the knees generously, exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward. The hands and arms go over the head here. Oh. And then gently release the grip of the hands. Oh. And then walk the hands forward into downward facing dog. And then coming into child's pose as a transition, just release into a sense of surrender. And just gently inhale, come on up. Things got just really quiet for me, really nirodha, really thoughtless state right now, peaceful. And we'll come into down dog here. Walk the feet to the hands, a forward fold. We'll transition to the top of the mat now. And then inhale, sweep all the way to standing again. Come up to standing. So now the earth and the moon will meet. So moon salutation. For our intentions for moon salutation, one is invited to link your personal intention at the start of class to moon salutation to Chandra. She's the arbiter of our karmas, essentially. And so just gently inhale, float, hands and arms up, reach. Little bend the knees, exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward. And then send the left leg back, ground the left knee on the mat, on the earth here. You may need some padding, I don't know. And then inhale, float, hands and arms up, reach. Stay with the breath. And then just put a little motion into it, kind of float. And inhale, your breathing. And exhale, hands down, either side of this front foot, and then the right knee meets the left knee. And then inhale, stand on both of the knees. Keep the core active here. The elbows can bend, heart flourishes here, just gaze up. There's that offering again, the aspiration, the hope, and then inhale, reach. And exhale, sweep down into child's pose, just float down into child's pose. So Chandra, surrender. And then inhale, pivot forward to the front of the body here. And then coming into cobra pose. So that aspiration all in an inhale. Breathing here, big inhale and exhale, lift the hips back into child's pose again. So we'll come out the same way that we went in. And then inhale, come to stand on the knees. The hands kind of track up the mat and then they sweep over the head. Bend the elbows, heart lifts. Then inhale, reach to the stars. And exhale, hands to the heart. And then work the weight into the right knee and then just slip the left foot forward. It can be a little tricky. Bend into that front leg knee and then inhale, reach the arms up again. I'm just kind of face my palms forward here. Let that really inform the pose. Keep the core a little active. Big inhale. And then exhale, the back foot steps to the front of the mat. So we come into a forward fold. Chandra Namaskar, moon salutation. Cooling practice, water, inhale, float all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart here. And then again, inhale, reach. Exhale, hinge the hips, folding forward. And then send now the right leg back. Float. And exhale, gently release all the way down. Hands plant either side of the front foot. Left knee meets right knee now. And then inhale, stand on the knees. Arms reach up, bend elbows. And then reach to the sky. And then exhale, float back into child's pose. And then inhale, pivot forward into cobra. So one big inhale, sweep into cobra. And exhale, lift the hips back into child's pose. So just moving and breathing, one movement, one breath, one pose, one breath, say. And then inhale, come to stand on the knees again, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. And now it's the right foot that slips forward. Sink into front leg knee. Inhale. And then exhale, back foot steps, falling forward. Uttanasana. And then inhale all the way to, it's called Urdhva Namaskar, upward salutation, hands to prayer, gaze up. And exhale, hands to heart. So that was one round of Chandra Namaskar. And we'll do one more full, complete round. Again, one movement, one breath. I'm just going to take a little sip of tea here real quick. It is beautiful in the forest this morning. So reassert the medicine of the heart here. Your intention, even maybe place your hand at the very bottom area of the heart and just give it a little rub in a clockwise motion. Feel into that. Let it be sensitive. Even the guys out there, it's all right. We all have these human capabilities, is really what they are. Might as well wake them up. And then release the hands down by the sides here. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward. Again, one movement, one breath. Left leg draws back. Inhale, float. Hands and arms reach. And exhale, hands either side of the front foot. Right knee meets left knee. And then inhale, stand on the knees. Just pray to Chandra, to your intentions. Then inhale, arms up. And exhale, bow into child's pose. That's it. And then inhale, sweep forward into cobra. Just a big kind of a sweep forward and up. And exhale, lift hips back into child's pose. Inhale, stand on the knees, hands and arms reach up. Exhale, maybe deepen into it. And then inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to heart. And then we slip this left foot forward. And then inhale, sweep up. And then exhale, back foot steps, folding forward here. And then inhale, sweep all the way to standing. And exhale to the heart center. So last side here. Inhale, float. So it's really supple with the body. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Nurturing to your mind, body, soul complex. Right goes back. Right knee grounds. Inhale, sweep. And then exhale, gently release. Hands either side of this front foot. Left knee meets right knee. Then inhale, stand on the knees, float up. Exhale, deepen into it if you like. Keep the core active though. Inhale, float. And then exhale, child's pose. We meet in child's pose. Come all the way down. Long exhale. And then inhale, float forward into cobra. So just kind of float all the way forward. Then exhale back into child's pose. Inhale, stand on the knees. Reach arms up. Exhale, deepen into it if you want. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to prayer. And then this right foot slips forward. Inhale. Exhale, back foot steps, folding forward. And then inhale, sweep all the way to standing. Exhale. Ooh, hands to the heart. And then exhale, float hands and arms down by the side here. Palms turn open, eyes closed, little bend in the knee. Let your awareness again be in the heart space. Soften all of your muscles, all the tissues of the body just become kind of like jello, butter, ghee. That's it. So gently here, I'm just going to turn around. Open the feet a little wide, the toes turn open, the heels turn in. We come into Malasana. We know this is garland pose, so just come to a squatting position. Like so. Feel into that. Wow. Little movement side to side. And then reach this right hand towards the earth and the left hand to the sky. Open up. And then little bind if you want. Elbows bend. Thumbs turn down. And then back to neutral here. And then we open up. Left earth, right stars. Oh, yeah. Little bend of the elbows. Maybe bind. Yeah, that's it. Ooh, yeah. And then use the hands, ground, and then extend, say, the right leg out, and then bend into the left knee, pull the right. So Skandasana, they call this, so you can't really see that. I'll switch legs so I'm in this extended position like so. Yeah. Just let the inner groin open. Be mindful here. You can sink into it some. And into that. And then we'll switch sides. So just crawl the hands, just gently move, and then sink. There's different ways. I come onto my big toes and I lift my heel. You can keep your heel down and however you want to do it. It's fine. And one more time each side. So sweep over to the other side. Here, just gently do a little pelvic floor thing, and then the other side. Yeah, that's it. And then back to a neutral position, squatting. So just kind of navigate your way like that, and then we'll release all the way down. Yeah. Pause here for a moment. Oh. And then Upavista Konasana. So separate the feet wide in a V shape, like so. And then we internally rotate manually the thighs. So draw the hamstrings back, thighs forward. And then first, just spread the toes. Let the feet be kind of straight to the sky. The hands then go behind you and allow the front spine to lengthen. So when sitting tall, it actually puts more grounding energy into the body, you may notice. If you're in your back pockets like this, hanging out, Put a blanket or some support under the pelvis if you have it nearby. And just allow the pelvis to kind of tip forward. Close the eyes, and then bring your awareness to the place in the inner groins where the stretch is most prominent. It's probably hard to miss. And then just imagine as you inhale that you can draw the energy of the earth from Prithvi underneath you into the place on the inner groins where that stretch is, again, most prominent. So Chitta guides prana, and that's mind or directed perception, can direct energy. And you may feel some heat or tingling. It may even be more uncomfortable when you do that. And that's just the prana coming in and just kind of flushing, if you will, that area of the subtle body. And it shows up in sensation in the physical body. And then you'll notice that if you can relax, so let those muscles go inside now with your mind. Let them relax. Oh, yeah. And then just gently open the eyes here. So we're not done. Let the hands go forward now, but the hands ground and they kind of walk forward to deepen into the form. But what I'm not doing is I'm not trying to get deeper in it by rounding the front body or collapsing. I'm keeping the front spine extended. So I'm activating the muscles of the back to keep the front spine extended. And then we just deepen into it. And I'm going to take this a little deeper this morning. I haven't done this pose in a while. So I'm going to just go all the way down to the chest here. And just breathe deeply wherever you are. And then we'll just gently walk our way gently, back out of it. But we're not quite done. We'll twist to the right, take the left hand on the outside of the right leg, lean over the right leg, and then walk that left hand up the shin, maybe to the knife edge of the foot. Bring that right hand forward as well. That'll release the hip compression a little bit. Just breathe here. Breathe deeply. And then gently we walk back out of it here, so neutral position, and then twist over the other way. So twist to the left, and then lean over the leg. Take this right hand up the shin, maybe to the knife edge. Release this left hand forward, so we release the compression. Breathing deeply here. Big, super big pose. Yeah. Stay with the breath. And then tone the belly, belly to the spine. Inhale, walk the hands up the leg. Oh, yeah, to come out of it. And then put a little bend in the knees here. Draw the soles of the feet towards one another. And then we come into what's called Baddha Konasana. We engage the glutes actually to press the heels together, extend the spine. That begins to wrap the knees towards the earth. Breathe deeply. Stay with the breath. Oh, yeah. And then gently here, let the knees float up to neutral. A little respite. And extend the legs out. Hands to the shins. And again, the action is up versus down. It's up and forward. Always. And we'll just take a minute here. Paschimottanasana is what is called west-facing stretch. Yeah, and then it's kind of like a glacier, if you will, with your hamstrings slowly opening. Keep the action up and forward. The chin is tucked slightly, as we know. And then maybe the hands can reach to the feet. And then we will round, though it does feel good to round and breathe deep into the back body. So big inhale here. Next, I'll go ahead and round forward, release the head, but then breathe into the belly. So push the belly forward, so the diaphragmatic breath again. Yeah. Oh, just the best. And then belly to the spine. Inhale, walk the hands up the legs to gently release out of it. So we come out of it here. And then I'm just going to spin around back onto my mat and just lightly use your core muscles to come onto your back all the way. Yeah, extend the arms over the head long. Reach, reach, reach. Yeah. Point and flex the feet here. Maybe walk the hips a little bit. That can feel good. Ah. Oh, yeah. And then hug the knees into the chest. So give the knees a little hug into the chest. Rock side to side, little massage of the spine. And we'll come into a supine twist. So ground the feet here. Shift the hips to the right and the knees to the left. Maybe the legs stack. Gaze to the right. Just breathe here. And then gently we'll switch this out. So draw the knees up carefully, hips to the left now, knees to the right, gaze to the left. And then gently let the knees float back up to neutral. Yeah. Just take a minute first, activating the sense of presence and the sense of feeling. So just take a moment. And then we'll do our inversion Viparita Mudra. The hips come to a block or ground the hands firmly. Get a little momentum. Kind of extend the feet up and then lift the hips up. And then come onto the shoulder girdle. And then the body comes into actually a V shape. So it's like a half shoulder stand. There's very little weight on the head. It's all in the hips and the elbows and the shoulders. Gaze is straight. Eyes can close here if you're comfortable with that. Earth and moon. This water energies, flowy, nourishing, supple, cooling. Just kind of deactivating the pitta samskara, healing that vibe. And then gently come out of this. Release the hands down, pike out of it, or release the block from underneath you. Feet flat for a moment here. Then extend the legs. We'll do our breath retentions that we do here. So exhale the breath completely, and then take a nice big inhale and hold the breath in and wait on it. So inhale and hold the breath. And then gently exhale your breathing. And then we'll do one more of these, but I'll cue you to pooch out your belly as you hold the breath. So exhale your breathing, and then take a nice big inhale. Hold the breath. Pooch out the belly. And then gently exhale your breathing. So you can just roll this right into Shavasana, right into corpse pose, as we know. If you need to make any little adjustments for comfort, please do. I'm just going to take a little moment and shift the angle of the camera. And just settle in. Be particularly surrender in the heart and to the earth. As one deepens into the relaxation of the body, One is invited into the subtle flowing energy of your cosmic being, into the sacred flows of the universe, into the healing natures. awakening into conscious awareness, into presence. That which flows heals. Om Ham Jum Saha Om Bhurva Swaha Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhi Pushti Varanam Urvarukameva Vandanan Mrityur Mukshiyamamrita Swaha Bhuvaha Bhu Om Saha Jun Haum Om Haum Jun Saha Om Bhurva Swaha Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhi Pushti Varanam Urvarukameva Vandanan Mrityur Mukshiyamamrita Swaha Bhuvaha Bhu Om Saha Jun Haum Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The chant is called the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. It means the great liberation from death, and it's a chant to Triambakam or Triambaka, and this is Shiva in the form of the medicine person, the medicine healer, the medicine man. The translation is as we worship the three-eyed Lord, the one with transcendental vision, the giver of strength, the one who frees us from death. Please free us from death like a ripe fruit dropping from a tree. And may we never forget our immortal nature. Om. It invokes that strength and healing and the water energies of Vak. Let your breath deepen. The body stir here a little. A little stretch in the arms. Hugging the knees. Come to the left side. And then gently make your way to seated position here. And this is the part of our practice where we transition into our pranayama and meditation practice. Very special practice today. And just take a minute, get organized, maybe a prop or something under the pelvis. I'm just going to chant here for a moment. Purification mantra. Om Bhuta Shingadachara Sushumna Pate Jiva Shri Ram Paramashiva Padiyojiyami Swaha Om Yam Linga Sharira Shoshaya Shoshaya Swaha. Om Brahm Sankocha Shariram Dada Swaha. Om Paramashiva Sushumna Patenamo Shingata Malasalasa Jvala 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 Soham Hamsa Swaha. Om Punatu. Om Buhu Punatu. Om Swaha Punatu. Om Bhur Bhuvaha Swaha Punatu. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Punatu. Om Punatu. May the earth, the celestial and the heavenly planes, the lokas, be purified and be cleansed. Hummingbird. So let's just first warm up our deep yogic breath. And so the first technique is to breathe into the belly, expanding the belly, and then the ribs and the chest. Full breath in, and then gently, slowly, full breath out. What the yogis understand about the cycle of breathing is that the belly breath is cooling and the chest breath is heating. It's a balancing technique. One might look at the belly breath as the yin breath and the chest breath as the yang breath, possibly. So much of our days are breathing into the chest. With your next exhalation, release that practice. And then we'll begin alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodan, nerve cleansing practice. The technique as a reminder is to bend the index finger and the middle finger into the palm of the hand and extend the thumb and the ring finger. Bring that right hand to the face, lift the elbow, and then gently close the right nostril with the thumb, and then inhale through the left. Full yogic breath here. Get to the top of that breath, lift the thumb, take the ring finger, close the left nostril, and exhale through the right completely. And then full yogic breath, inhale through the right nostril. Get to the top of that breath, lift the ring finger, take thumb, close right nostril, exhale left. That constitutes a complete round. And continue the practice as time permits. Nadi Shodan, nerve cleansing practice. Just staying committed to the practice here. Allow for the body to have ease in it. And listening carefully here, complete the round that you're on by exhaling out the left nostril. So cycling through, no hurries. And then keeping the eyes closed, returning to a diaphragmatic breath, returning to a belly breath. And so now we'll do what's called Chandra Bedna, the moon breath. And it's essentially half of a Nadi Shodhan. And so the technique is to close the right nostril with the thumb, inhale through the left nostril, and then close the left nostril and exhale through the right. That's the technique. So beginning when you're ready, close the right nostril with the thumb, do a full yogic breath here, inhaling through the left nostril. Get to the top of that breath, lift the thumb, take the ring finger and close the left nostril, exhale through the right. And just continue that practice. Just a few rounds here. Chandra Bedna, then moon breath. And completing the round that's drawn by exhaling out the right nostril. Eyes stay closed and return to a belly breath. In the practice of um, Dirga, Dirga Vrechak Pranayama, that means extended exhalation. So take a full yogic breath on an inhale, full yogic, normal pacing, if you will. Then exhale as long and as slow as possible out the nostrils. At the bottom of the breath, the belly kind of taps a little closer to the spine. And have the courage to completely release your breathing here. Dirga Rechak Pranayam, extended exhalation. Just be very, very patient. It's as if you let stillness overcome you. And there can be a little vibration at the bottom of that exhale. And that's essentially a good thing to discover. In moderation. Let everything just slow down. Cool everything off. And after the end of your next exhalation, just release this practice. Release the breath from modification here. Breathe into the belly. And so the next practice, as promised, is Shitali Kumbhak Pranayam. The technique is somewhat special in that Shitali invites one to turn the tongue into a pipe shape and extend the tongue out slightly. That's a genetic trait, and not everyone can turn the tongue into the pipe shape. So if that is the case for any of you, that's totally fine. What we do then is we shift the practice in such a way where we bring the teeth together and then push the tongue to the back of the teeth. The mouth is open, and then do the inhalation, okay? So the full practice is this. We turn the tongue into the pipe shape, or bring the tongue to the back of the teeth. And then we inhale into the belly and draw the breath over a moistened tongue, if you will. And get to that, the top of that inhale. It's not a chest breath, so it's about a half of a breath. And then close the mouth, draw the belly to the spine, wait for at least 5 counts. That's the kumbhak, the retention. And then exhale through the nostrils. So again, tongue to the back of the teeth or pipe shape. Inhale into the belly. Close the mouth. Wait. Exhale, belly to the spine through the nostrils. That's the technique. Do this practice as time permits. Begin when you're ready. The tongue is moist. We inhale, belly expands. Pause, close the mouth. Wait, and then exhale, belly to the spine as you release the breath through the nostrils. Shitali Pranayam. Helps the spleen, reduces fever, removes acid, is vitalizing. You may notice a sensation of coolness begin to develop, and that's by design. It's normal. Maybe coolness coming across the tongue or the teeth, holding that sense of coolness in the body. The yogis believe that if we do this practice, we can perfect health. Just staying with the practice. And then gently here after your next and final exhalation, complete this practice. Keep the eyes closed and just feel. So our meditation here this morning will be on um, the energy of purifying water. So the technique here is to let the hands drift into your lap, the palms turn up, but let them be at the level of the pelvic floor, pubic bone area. Behind the pubic bone is Svadhisthana chakra. And in Svadhisthana chakra is the element of jala, the element of water. Find a very comfortable and relaxed position. So take whatever time you need to relax the arms or torso, move a little bit, and then settle in into stillness. This has the potential to be very powerful practice. Bring your drishti, the chitta gaze, the focus of the mind in the area of the pubic bone, but behind it and in the pelvic floor area. So earth water practice. Being fixed with your inner gaze at Svadhisthana chakra. It's the shape of a crescent moon, if you want to visualize a white crescent moon shape. It has a bija, it has a seed sound, and the sound is vam, vam, V-A-M, vam. The meditation is inhale into the mind the sound of Om and draw the energy from the earth underneath you. And then exhale the sound of Vam. And this is all subvocally, this is all in the mind. So it's Om on the inhale and Vam on the exhale, letting that vibration resonate in the area of Svadhisthana chakra, the pelvic floor, pubic bone. Om Vam. The Vam is the vibration, the sound of water. It's the sound of Jala. And its vibration purifies that element in us and invokes it. It's very common for prana to want to ascend, and that's fine. Allow your gaze to be pretty well fixed here on Svadhisthana Chakra, Om Vam. Allowing vibration to resonate in the pelvic floor. And then gently let the mantra subside here. And begin to allow the energy to lift through the torso, the spine, the upper chest, the arms, the neck, and the head. Just let it become complete here, purna, whole. Allowing water element energy to fill the entire physical form. Peace to exist in the mind and the heart. a sense of ease and continuity in the life, harmony, goodwill, and loving tendencies. Just have any reflection that's suitable for you. Your prayers to the earth or your invocation of your intentions and joining with Chandra, the moon, the flowing nature of water and its cooling qualities and its fertility, its vitality. We chant one Om together to complete our practice. Just exhale the breath here and then inhaling. Just bringing hands to prayer and just so grateful for the practices of yoga and for that energy in each one of you that aligns your being to do these sadhanas. And to Shivani, our new practice space, to Shivalaya, to the Great Spirit. Namaste. Okay, friends. Just wanted to say, staying with me here this morning, and time melted completely. It completely flowed like water and beyond. And so I went a little over, and I really don't know where the time went. But that's what happens in yoga. It can be and should be a timeless practice. So again, thanks for joining, and the Venmo thing is much appreciated. And please, please, please sign up for the retreat next 2 weekends, and we'll still live stream, I anticipate, our Saturday morning practice, but it'll be a few bodies here, hopefully, on Shivani on Practice Space. Put a little shout out in the comments here, and yeah, and then stay cool and do Shitali, Kumbhak, Pranayam, um, whenever you need to. And it's really the time for this practice, for these cooling practices. So again, thank you and namaste. All right, I'm going to sign off here. And thanks everyone. Yeah, you're welcome, Tammy. Welcome, Stephanie. Thank you. And the coalition of Irene, Val, Brian, and Bill. Awesome. Maggie. Love. Peace. Om.